And there's studies that also show, do your research, that gentle parenting is not working. Kids are becoming abusive towards their parents. They're starting to take control over the household, and they're starting to parent themselves. We need to do a show on that. We staff.
The things you're talking about, the goal is to inflict pain. The relationship between parent and child should not and does not need to include physical pain. We can talk to them and explain to them what we need to explain to them. But
the Cheyenne Bryant controversy: doctor, therapist, or life coach? What happens when one of the internet's most recognizable relationship and psychology personalities gets accused of misrepresenting her credentials?
That what I have found in my field of 18 years is that, I want to say this, I didn't get it. I've been in my field for 18 years.
Where did you get your start?
You might start as far as like a therapist. I started off as a marriage, family, and child therapist about 18 years ago. Before I obtained my doctorate degree in counseling psychology. Once I became a doctor of psychology, I transitioned from a therapist to a psychology expert in private practice.
Over the last several months, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has found herself at the center of a growing controversy involving her doctorate, professional licensure, and whether audiences have been given a clear picture of her qualifications. So, let's get into it. We're looking at what actually went down, Cheyenne Bryant's take on all the allegations, what the critics have to say, and how this whole thing has blown up into something way bigger than just one person. We're talking about all the different sides of the story and why it's become such a huge deal. If you spent any time watching relationship content online, you've probably seen Cheyenne Bryant.
Marriage, family, and child therapist about 18 years ago.
She's appeared on major podcasts and interview platforms, including conversations with celebrities and public figures. Many viewers know her for discussing relationships, trauma, personal development, and psychology-related topics. For years, she has been introduced as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and has built a large audience around her expertise. But recently, questions began surfacing online about her educational background and whether she holds the credentials many viewers assumed she had.
Antisocial personality types don't feel anxiety.
Like, nah.
Most of the time. They don't feel...
I don't need a doctorate in counseling psychology to go get licensed as a therapist. That's what we're all missing.
There are two main issues at the heart of this debate, and they are closely connected. First, is Cheyenne Bryant a licensed mental health professional? Does she really have the PhD she says she does? Bryant has publicly acknowledged that she is not a licensed clinician. Reports note that she has described herself in various contexts as a life coach, psychology expert, therapist, and doctor.
Went to school. She was already calling herself doctor. We got into an argument about it one time because the dialogue we were having in class was, do we call ourselves doctor even though we weren't completed with school? And she said she paid so that she could be a doctor. And I said, being called doctor isn't that damn important.
Which critics argue has created confusion among audiences. The larger debate erupted when internet users began questioning her doctoral credentials and asking for documentation such as a dissertation, diploma, transcripts, or other evidence. Critics claimed they could not independently verify the doctorate she says she earned. As the discussion gained momentum, social media exploded with reaction videos, commentary channels, and memes. Show, trending tweets, YouTube thumbnails, reaction posts. Bryant has repeatedly addressed the criticism. She said in interviews that she got a doctorate in counseling psychology from Argosy University when it was still accredited. However, she had trouble getting the right documents because the school closed and they had problems keeping records. This made it hard for her to prove her credentials. She claimed that getting the paperwork was difficult after the school shut down, and as a result, she faced challenges in verifying her degree. She tried to get the records through someone else who was holding them, but she said she couldn't get all the information she needed. Bryant also says she doesn't think she needs to show the public her degrees to prove anything. She believes her track record and experience say it all. In several interviews, she mentioned how her public sessions and high-profile appearances have made a positive impact on people's lives, proving that her work is effective. By pointing to these examples, she shows that she has helped many individuals, and that's what matters most. Her body of work is a testament to her capabilities, and she's confident that it speaks for itself. One of the most discussed aspects of her response is that she has declined repeated requests to publicly release documentation that would settle many of the questions. This story isn't just about one creator. It's touching on a larger debate that has been growing for years. The difference between therapists, psychologists, counselors, coaches, and online influencers. Many licensed professionals argue that credentials and licensure matter.
My goal was never, ever to obtain licensing, ever. I did not go to college and say, I want to become a licensed therapist.
Conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
The questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth the doctoral degree?
Because they create standards, ethical requirements, and accountability. Some critics were particularly alarmed by comments suggesting that being unlicensed means not being subject to the same professional oversight as licensed practitioners. Some people think that coaching and motivational work can still be helpful, even if the person doing it isn't a licensed therapist. But it's really important that the people listening know exactly what the coach is qualified to do and what they're not qualified to do. This way, everyone is on the same page and knows what to expect. That's why this controversy has resonated with so many people. It raises questions about expertise, trust, transparency, and how social media personalities present themselves to audiences. Show graphics explaining therapist versus psychologist versus coach. The internet reaction, 7:30 to 8:45. As the controversy spread, reaction from the public became increasingly polarized. Some people stuck up for Bryant, saying what she does and the advice she gives is more important than filling out forms. They think her impact should count for more than just doing the paperwork. Some people think that if someone is going to call themselves doctor when talking about mental health, they should be ready to show proof that they actually have the right qualifications. Online forums, podcasts, and social media discussions became filled with debates over whether this situation represented misunderstanding, poor communication, or something more serious. The result has been one of the biggest credibility debates currently happening in the online self-help and relationship content world. So we have the main points pretty much figured out. Cheyenne Bryant claims to have a doctorate degree, and she doesn't feel the need to show any proof of it to the public. People are still asking to see proof that backs up what's being said. They want to be sure that the claims are true and can be confirmed by outside sources. And the broader conversation has evolved into a discussion about transparency, professional credentials, and the responsibilities that come with being viewed as an authority figure online. What do you think? Should public experts be expected to verify their credentials when questions arise? Or should their work and results be enough? If you got any thoughts, share them below. And if you found this analysis interesting, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more content, and click that notification bell to stay up to date on our in-depth explorations of the stories that are making headlines. Tell me what you think about this. I'd love to hear your views and on this subject. Transparency from Cheyenne Bryant would put this subject to bed, but it don't look like that's in her nature.